All right, friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for Saturday, the 16th of November, 2019. Very exciting day today, all right? Very exciting day. We've got a lot of energy going down. Everything is connected to Uranus today, okay? Not everything. The moon, Venus, and Mars are all connecting to Uranus today in a very breakthrough way. That's Uranus's job, is to release pressure. Saturn's job is to create pressure. Uranus's job is to release pressure, right? Jupiter is to expand within the physical world, the physical reality. Neptune's job is to expand the non-physical, okay? Very important. Over in Scorpio, it's about going deep, deep beneath the surface, the deep-rooted feels, okay? When we're dealing with the water signs, it's about the feels, okay? So we have a grand water trine between the North Node and the Moon, which are going to conjunct between 6 and 7 in the morning. And conjunction is when they're the same side. So the North Node and Cancer are at 10 degrees between 6 and 7 a.m. As the day moves on, the Moon is going to move to about 13 degrees and create a perfect trine to Mercury up in Scorpio, okay? So the trine is a very favorable sign, a very favorable aspect between different signs that are the same, two different signs in the same element, okay? Water, water, water. So let me show you the chart. Make that make sense. So Cancer is a water sign, Scorpio is a water sign, Neptune, or Pisces, is a water sign, okay? So we have Neptune connected to the North Node and the Moon down here, and the North Node and the Moon connected to Mercury here in Scorpio. So this is a very favorable aspect, okay? Very favorable aspect. So the Moon is what you need, Venus is what you want, Mars is how you get it, and Mercury is how you think about it, how you think about going about getting it, okay? So it's kind of funny because the Moon and Venus, you know, they're all about the feels. You know, this is how we think about our action. So there's decisiveness between Mars and Mars and Mercury, okay? Where Venus and the Moon is all about the feel. The Moon down here is home in Cancer, okay? And Mars is in Venus's sign. Venus rules Libra. It's an air sign, okay? So Mars creating this septile right now to Venus. This is a beautiful, beautiful aspect. This is that fate stuff that we were talking about yesterday that's going to be happening for another couple of days, okay, until the 20th. Mercury retrograde is going to continue going on until the 21st. I am certainly feeling that right now, as I'm sure the rest of the world is as well. But don't hate on Mercury retrograde. This happens 3 times a year. This happens for 3 months of the year. This happens for a third of the year. Don't hate something that happens a third of the year. We have to learn to love it. Learn to adapt and roll with it, because what we want to do is just to run ahead and sweep things under the rug and say, yes, we've completed this, but the truth is we haven't. You know, there are lessons to be learned here. And that's exactly what this is saying, is there's something that happened last month when this energy was in Libra, when the Moon was in Libra. We didn't learn a lesson. We did not learn some valuable lesson that has to deal with other people, okay? What is that lesson? That is up to us to decipher, that is up for us to discern and figure out exactly what that lesson is for us to learn, okay? Because right now, again, this is fate, that septile energy. This is otherworldly energy, okay? So the otherworldly energies are going to be the septiles and the quintiles, which is a quintile right there between Uranus and the Moon, quintile between the Chiron and Saturn, okay? Between Chiron and Pluto. Either way, we're not going to really talk about that. It's not super what we're going to talk about today. Really, look at this. So Uranus is the great awakener. This is the aha moment, the lightning striking, the eureka moment, okay? So whatever lesson we didn't learn back here in Libra season, or whoever we didn't open up and talk to during Libra season, is certainly going to become very apparent on a day like today, okay? So the Great Awakener, the aha, connecting to, in a very creative way, to the Moon, okay? The aha connecting to Mars in Libra, saying, yes, go in this direction. Go in this direction toward these relationships. Relationships of all kinds, business, friendships, and yes, love, romantic relationships. Deepening with this Mars-Venus septile, okay? Deepening these relationships right now. And then Venus, sesqui-square, that red line right here. Okay, so the sesqui-square, the opposition, the red lines are tension, okay? Meaning we have to let go. There's something we have to let go of. We have to let go of this old trauma. We have to let go of this old hurt. We have to let go of this old pain. This is manifested into the physical world here in Taurus. And it's Uranus's job to break this, to shake it to the core to where it's, it's dematerializing to nothingness. All right. Now, this hasn't, Uranus really hasn't been in Taurus since 1934. It dipped in and out last year for just a quick minute. And now it's going to be here for the next 7 years. Okay. So we really, the great upheaval, great unraveling, and a huge amount of change. Okay. So we have to heal our personal traumas that have manifested into our physical bodies. All right. And now the North Node down here in Cancer, I'm going to do this as quick as I can because there's a bigger message that I'm trying to get at here. North Node and the Moon down here in Cancer, this is saying giving and being compassionate and empathetic. And there's an issue with giving when we give and somebody else takes, and 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 then we give and somebody else takes, and then we have nothing left and they have everything. And they've run off with everything, and now we have nothing. And now we don't want to give anymore because we've given so much that we realize we give and the world just takes us for granted and takes advantage of us, And that's not the case for every single person. That is not the case, right? That's not how it is for everybody. This is reminding us to continuously give, to be more in your emotions, be more in our nurturing self, That's very, very simple. Be more nurturing. And now when the moon has an exact trine over there to Mercury, it's an easy flow of being able to communicate our emotions. Simple as that. And when we communicate our emotions, it leads to our expansion, which is Neptune over there in Pisces. Okay? So we can see this is that grand water trine. Okay, very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So whatever lesson we didn't learn in Libra season, because again, this has to do with other people, we're going to be reaching out to other people. Maybe you need to reach out to somebody. Tell them how you feel. Maybe someone's going to reach out to you and tell you how they feel. All right. Now, during that, it's very important to listen to the other person. All right. A little bit of like relationship advice. Doesn't matter if it's if it's a business partner or a partner. Okay, if someone is angry, if someone is upset, shut up and listen. It's one of the best advices that I've ever heard in my life. Shut up and listen because they have something to say. Because people do not communicate compassionately unless they feel something very deep. People do not argue. Most people, okay, some people just like to argue, but most people don't argue. I'm not going to go pick a fight with a stranger there's no emotional connection with me and that person. I don't care. Go about your day, man. I'm going to go about mine. You know what I mean? So it's just like when we have this entanglement with other people, that's when we, there's something there. So then when we get heated, so I'm not saying anything's going to be heated today, but what I'm saying is if something happened in the past, it was heated, it fell apart, come back together, if the communication opens up today, just listen. Active listening is so, so important. Another beautiful aspect of that is to try to repeat back what the person said, in word for word, not, well, I heard this. This is my interpretation of what you said. No. It's like a waiter or a waitress at a restaurant. You ordered this. You ordered the tilapia with mango habanero salsa. Yes, correct. It's exactly what I ordered. Thank you for whatever it is. You know what I mean? So if somebody's passionately communicating, zip it, listen, do your best to absorb the information, try to regurgitate it back to them. And is this how you feel? Yes. This is what you mean? Yes. And again, this is dealing with all kinds of relationships. There is a certain highlight to romantic relationships right now, as Mars is in Libra, which is Venus's home sign, and Venus is over there in Sagittarius, which is all about expanding our love. Okay, and then with this grand water trine happening, you can see obviously this is deepening our emotions and opening up to people. So if this is, whatever this is, if it's love, romantic, or business, or whatever, if you're already in those relationships, if they did manifest earlier over the summer, if they've been happening for a long time, maybe you're in a partnership for 18 years, what we can expect to happen with this energy is to strengthen the bond. We can imagine that deep-rooted feelings are going to be able to come up with ease, with a sense of ease. And if we listen critically, if we listen compassionately, and communicate back, we open up the doors for great expansion. And that's the beauty of where Uranus, the great awakener, the eureka moment. Oh my God, I get it now. I get it, right? So active listening is extremely important. Now, for the meat of this, because this has to deal, again, with manifesting. This has to deal with the magnitude of the heart, the magnifying powers of the heart that all connect us together. It is extremely important. If you watched Friday's video, Friday the 15th, we're talking about being appreciative and grateful for receiving something before we've received it. Okay, it's where we're getting out of our head and we're being thankful in our heart, where we're not using our brain to say the words. We're not using our brain to ask. We're using our heart to ask. We're using our heart to communicate. Sometimes that can just be a look. And you get it, But sometimes we have to use our words to go deeper when we're communicating with others. But what I'm saying with all this is, if we are feeling sad and lonely, or a lack of, we are going to amplify sad and lonely and a lack of. Okay? If we are feeling without, if we are feeling unloved, if we're feeling closed off, if we're feeling that nothing we're saying is coming out right, it's only going to amplify. Whatever we are feeling under this energy amplifies like a magnifying glass, like the Hubble telescope. Intense. It's intense. So if we're feeling down, we need to find a way to flip it. Okay? We need to find a way, an attitude of gratitude. Okay? We have to be grateful for what we received before we receive it. We have to be thankful for what we want before it comes into an alignment with us. And that will bring it into an alignment with us. This is the most important part of what's going to happen today to tomorrow and the next couple of days ahead, okay? It's super highlighted today because the moon's conjunct the North Node. The moon is perfect trine to Mercury. The grand water trine is huge. The sextile between Saturn and Neptune is still very live and crushing it. And this is all about the feels, okay? Down in Cancer, the moon is home. It's all about the feels. So it's really whatever we're feeling gets magnified 100 times over. So it's very, very, very important today to be mindful of how we feel. And it's this old expression, just because you feel it doesn't mean it's there. So that's a double-edged sword. That's a paradox in what we're talking about. The best way to look at that, is if it's the sadness, if it's a lack thereof, if you feel abandoned, if you feel without. That's the stuff that's saying just because we feel it doesn't mean it's there. There's 1,000 people that love you. There's 1,000 people that care about you or want you around or whatever it may be. So it's very important that we take this time, this energy, to focus on what we do want, what we do need, who it is, and bringing ourselves into an alignment with it, and closing our eyes, taking a time to meditate. There's no better time to meditate than this right now. Especially during this retrograde, slow things down. Meditate on it and bring it into an alignment and just see it in your head and know that you're creating it. You know that you're creating a magnetic pull with your heart. It is so, so important. And if we do that, you know, that's what wins the day. That's the energy that wins the day, is all about the feels, right? So just really, really hammering in and knowing, like, to try to stay on the positive sides of things, to come into an alignment with everything that we want. We already have it. You know, you can be living in a shack, and in your brain you see, is it that law of attraction stuff? You know, it's you seeing yourself in the home that you want to be in, or seeing yourself in the business that you want to be in, seeing yourself in with the partner that you want to be with the dog or the cat or whatever it is that your heart desires. You know, Venus is up there, expand, expand, expand. You know, about to hang out with Jupiter, King Jupiter, saying more and more and more. If this is what you want, you're going to get more and more and more and more and more of it. If you feel sad, lonely, you know, abandoned, more and more and more sadness, more loneliness, more, you know, nobody loves me. This can work very against us as much as it can work very for us and with us, okay? So use your feels wisely. Does that make sense? Use your feels wisely. We're going with it. Have a happy Saturday, my friends. Very, very powerful day. All about the feels. We'll feel you tomorrow.